So if I would ask you a question, have you truly maximized your potential in the rideshare business, right? Doesn't matter what category you've driven in or you're driving in, whether you've maybe started with X, you've switched over to XL, or you're still driving X, or you immediately jumped in with SUV or Lux, right? Have you explored your true potential within that category or those categories, right? Knowing that there are so many different ways to make money in rideshare. Firstly, we go out and we buy a car. Now, in today's time, with the rates that these companies are paying, with the split that we're getting, call it 50-50, 50 them, 50 us, you can't go out there and buy a brand new car and basically engage in 60 months of payments. You're not going to see any results. Now, there are people out there, right, that are just unwilling to get out of their comfort zone, right, and are more than happy to put in 60 to 70 hours per week driving day in, day out, day in, day out. You don't have a life. If you are driving 60 or more hours per week, you don't have a life. You're not enjoying your life. You're not enjoying your true potential. You're not growing because you're doing the same thing every day. You're getting up at the crack of dawn. You know your shifts, you know your areas, and beyond that, you'll never grow. All you can do is watch and listen to what Uber and Lyft are dictating to you, what they are trying out with the app. You basically, face it, you're a slave to the rhythm, right? And if you're stuck in that wheel, doing that same old, being the slave to a 60-hour rhythm each week, you don't have a life, you're not enjoying your life, you're unable to take bold risks, and you can't really grow your expertise beyond what you already know. So when you take that knowledge, that 300 miles per day knowledge, that 2,100 miles per week knowledge, 8,500 miles per month, 100,000 miles per year, 200,000 miles 2 years later, 2.5 years later, your car's burnt out, and you may not even have made that money back on that vehicle. You're not working smart, my friend. You're not. So I ask you to adjust your formula, right? Firstly, you should be on Uber and Lyft, because in a 3 or 4 hour shift, having both apps on you, statistically, it's a fact you're getting more trips fitted in to that 180 minutes, right? Or those 240 minutes, you're getting more trips in, meaning you're making more money. Having Uber and Lyft apps on at the same time. Now, many years ago when I was doing rideshare full time, I explored X, I explored XL, I explored Black, I explored Select. I ended up really enjoying SUV and Lux, and I saw the biggest benefits over there. But beyond that, the smartest thing I could have ever done was to actually put that little bit of money aside to get myself a charter license, a chauffeur license, a limo license. And that'll run you anywhere from about 800 to 2,500, depending what state you're in. Now, the top metropolitan cities where, and if you're not exploring this, you're not tapping into your potential and you're not enjoying life. I can tell you that right now. Some people are just working around the clock because they might have to do have to pay child support or spousal support, or they're in debt on their first car, and they're just driving around the clock, catching up, trying to catch up. You're not going to grow, right? In fact, you're going to get angry, you're going to get bitter, you're going to lash out, you're going to do a lot of name calling. I see this in specific channels. I see this behavior of people lashing out, calling people names, bitter down, deep down, really bitter and upset with life, not having fun, not enjoying life, not being able to go out with the kids or take a vacation or take downtime. No, but instead living an unhealthy life, grinding it every single day. I ask you, please, to break that slave rhythm, right? And tweak your formula. When I hear people say that in certain markets you'll need $70,000 to get started in the limo business, that shows me they've never done the numbers, they don't understand the numbers, and how can you ever report on something if you haven't tried it out? The one thing in a YouTube channel, when you're going out and you're talking about specific things, right, you got to make sure that you are walking the walk and talking the talk. That means if I've been in the X category and I've done a certain amount of trips and it's not working for me, I've tried out Excel, I'm doing way better in Excel. It is starting to work for me, but the company's rates are being cut. I now have to find myself in a situation where I have to make adjustments. And what worked for me, and it's a formula, and that's why I'm proud that I sign up so many new drivers each day, because I get a chance to share my experience, my changes with them, right? My growth pattern. I can teach them that formula that the rideshare life is not just about driving riders from A to B all morning long, all afternoon, all night long, fitting in a quick gym visit, fitting in a quick lunch or a dinner, and then starting that same cycle all over again, day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out, right? No. Folks, that's not a life. That's not a lifestyle. But if you start off small and you're getting your first private passenger because you've been brave enough to go out and print your business cards and network with people, giving them that card, and you get your first client, and then you get it because you know how to really treat that client well. You've learned it from the rideshare business, right? You're giving them a safe ride, you're giving them a clean car. All the things that you've learned from the rideshare business, you simply applying to a private client, right? It's a no-brainer. The way you treat, the way you talk to your rideshare people, the same way you talk to your private clients, there's not much of a difference, right? But the huge difference is the earnings. 100% of the monies is going into your pocket. So when I hear people saying that with the insurance, with the chauffeur license, and we're in the most expensive state here in California and New York, right? Other states, whether it's Illinois or Nevada's really, really good also for private clients. It's way less expensive. I got to go out there, find myself a good car for 25 to 35K, right? I cannot pay more than $4,800 for my commercial insurance per year, right? So if I've gone out there and got a Suburban, a 2015 for 25, added another 5,000 insurance, I'm on to $30,000, right? And a couple of extras. Where do people suck these numbers out of the fresh air and say to people, don't do this because it costs $70,000? I just showed you, if you're shopping correctly on insurances, if you're shopping correctly on cars, right, not getting screwed over by a dealer, not buying a brand new car, you're starting your business for $30,000 insurance and car, and then you can add about another max $1,500 to $2,000 for your licenses, for your commercial license, which might mean you have to convert your regular insurance to a commercial insurance. That's a 2-month process. But once you are there, out of that $100 trip, it's going into your pocket. So on a day when I'm making this video right now, and I've been out there maybe, doing about 4 hours of private trips today, and maybe 1.5 hours of rideshare trips, call it 5.5 hours. It was a long day for me in the car. And I'm walking out making over $700 in a day, right? If I would project that, I'm not doing those same hours every day, but let's say tomorrow I go and do 3 hours, maybe make $400, right? I want to consistently make about $3,000 plus per week. Combination Uber, Lyft, and privates, right? And to tell people that private trips are impossible or that you cannot achieve that, it's because you're too scared to try it. You're too afraid to take the risk. and you're not living your full maximum potential. And you're perfectly fine with getting back in that wheel tomorrow morning and putting in 8 to 10 hours of rideshare. You're not growing. You're going backwards. You know why? Because your car's getting insane mileage. So if I'm making almost double the amount of money that some of the people that are teaching you their formula, and I'm doing it in half the time, I ask you, which formula works better for you, right? Working around the clock in Select or Black or X all day long, day in, day out, or exploring, putting a little bit of money aside and changing up your formula and not breaking your back, maybe putting in maximum 30 hours of driving per week between Uber, Lyft, and privates, right? If I could show you that you can make almost double the money in half the time by working smart, why on earth would you follow any fool, right? Any idiot that was trying to teach you a formula where you don't have a life, where you're not living to your maximum potential. Now let's talk about another area where you can make a ton of money. And the people that are really successful in YouTube channels, you know, I'm talking 15,000 subscribers or higher, 20, 30, 40,000 subscribers, they teach rideshare drivers all the ins and outs on how to monetize themselves, how to set up your Amazon store, how to set up your blog, how to set up your YouTube channels, your social media, how to get your referral codes out there. So let's talk about referral codes, right? If you become an expert in your city and you know it inside and out, why shouldn't you become an ambassador on YouTube and start talking about your city and reaping rewards from the referrals from the drivers that you're referring in your city, whether it be LA, whether it be New York, Miami, Chicago, Las Vegas? Why not refer a fellow Vegas driver and get paid $300-400 for that referral? And you may have to hold their hand for a few trips, because once they've done 5 or 10 trips, they generally don't come back to you. But a true leader, a true referrer, a true trainer is unselfish with their time, and in their downtime will call their referral back and help them, train them. And that's why I can comfortably say that every single day I refer 10 to 20 drivers, and I'm proud of it, right? And that equates to another whole dollar figure beyond driving on Uber, Lyft, and privates, right? So, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day. You don't get 70 to 80 private clients in a day. It takes time. You grow your business, right? But again, if you're not exploring your maximum potential, if you're not willing to take that remote risk, right? But instead you're preaching on something you've never, ever tried. You sucking numbers out of the sky. It will cost you $70,000. That's injecting fear into people's minds, because at that point they won't even go out and do the numbers or try and get the numbers. I'm telling you, you should be getting out the gate with an SUV in Uber and Lyft and build out your private portfolio of clients with some social media, definitely with a deck of 1,000 business cards for under $35,000, right? Now, that could be in form of a loan you took out because you were willing to pay $35,000 for that other car over there anyway. And if you want to learn that formula, you better reach out to me, because that is the formula that I have taught hundreds and hundreds of drivers. And beyond that, I've also shown them that, for example, my real estate license in the car, I can conduct business with high-end clients and sell, appeal to buyers and sellers in my car by having the right magazines in the car. I don't even have to mention anything about homes or selling homes or buying homes. They see it based on the magazines that I have and based on the business cards that I attach. How difficult, I ask you, is that? What does that cost you? A few dollars, right? $30-40 to go out and print your business cards. But you have to be a personality that goes towards people, that has courage, and that is willing to network and give out the cards. Now, you put out that energy, you form those relationships, and you set yourself up for even bigger things, because now the big fish that you're attracting, for example, you may have got them on an Uber or Lyft trip and they become a private client. Now the potential is endless. You might end up doing businesses together, right? You might be ending up getting tickets to concerts, to sports events. You might even be staying over at their homes in other states. You might even get invited along on their Learjets, right? So that only comes if you go out there, you network, you're willing to take a little bit of a risk, and you're willing to get out of that 60-hour cart, that little hamster wheel. And then you will start enjoying life, because to get on who used to be an Uber client who now is a private client, and you get invited onto their Learjet or invited to their home, or you get third or fourth seat row basketball tickets for them. You know why? Because they like you. You know why? Because you're driving their kids and you're keeping them safe and you're getting them to business meetings on time. All of the qualities, everything that you learned in the rideshare business, right? Because that's where I started out from, right? And I enjoy still rideshare today. What I don't quite enjoy is the split. I don't think it's fair that they take 50% or 60% and we diminish to 50 or 40%, right? So I'm definitely not the person who's going dark on the rideshare industry, right? One or two people may have said, hey, some of my videos lately were attacking the industry too much. The bottom line is, I'm a voice for drivers. I stand up for drivers. I go to these strikes. I go to these rallies. I go and confront Uber and Lyft, and I stand up and speak up for drivers, right? Versus other people that are unwilling to do that for drivers and that are sitting in their car 60 hours per week spewing hatred, negativity. You can't do this. You shouldn't go to strikes. You shouldn't stand up for drivers. I have a whole different mindset, mentality when it comes to rideshare. And I think I can honestly say that I've explored the true potential within these two industries, to the point that when I see faults that they're making, I'm already working with other drivers to get another rideshare going. I've already gone out there and created an umbrella network for drivers called Street Teams, where they can promote themselves, where they can become all-stars, where they can promote their codes, be ambassador for cities, teach newbies, right? And a lot of these people are stepping into the role and starting to make money. Now, within the next few months, I will be doing collaborations with some drivers that I started training and that have truly gone out there and exercised their maximum potential. Stephen from Laguna Beach, for example, who stepped it up and ended up in SUV and Lux. And then when I told him, hey, add your real estate license, he did that. And now, like me, he's selling homes, buying and selling homes through the car, through the clients, through Uber, Lyft, and private clients. And he's taken his earnings to a whole new level. Then I take another guy who has become a great friend, Thomas Gibson. He lives in San Diego. He comes from the trucking industry, right? He said, hey, Torsten, I'll collaborate with you any day, and we'll do a video together, because we just followed a very upbeat, positive message about rideshare, on how to grow your business and explore the potential in the rideshare business. And you look at his earnings today, and you look at his clientele today, and he does a healthy mix of Uber, Lyft, and private clients, and occasionally will still get into that truck and get paid a good hourly in the trucking business, right? But his earnings then and now, it's day and night, right? So that is who I want on board. If you are that type of character that's willing to maximize your true potential, sign up under my links. Get on the phone with me, allow me to train you up, allow me to help you through those first 10, 20, 30 trips and give you everything you need and explain all the ways that you can make money in rideshare, right? And then, only then, can you step into your true potential. Then, only then, can you become an expert and teach your expertise to others. And then and only then will you start taking bolder risks because your income is higher and you now have the disposable money to take steps. Maybe go out there and buy a Prius like I did at an auction for $4,000 or $5,000, and then add the next Prius and the next SUV, and then start leasing them to drivers and generate income from that, and then use those monies to grow. I wasn't born with a golden spoon in my mouth. I don't have wealthy parents. All my wealth, all my expertise comes from one person only. Put in the hours, but you figure out ways to get the max earnings, right? And at the same time, very important one, you have a life, you enjoy a life, and you remain healthy. It is the most unhealthiest thing to sit in your seat for 8 to 10 hours a day. Your spine will take on a different shape, right? It's unhealthy, my friends. So if you want to build an incredible career and an incredible business together, please reach out to me. I'm known as the Rideshare Professor, and I'm here, a voice for drivers in this channel, and to teach you how to do a combination of rideshare and private trips to explore your true potential, right? And I also love what I do, and I also love my private time, and I also live a very, very healthy life. So if you enjoy your job, if you get up, you're having fun at it, you enjoy the hours of going out for dinners with your private clients while you're getting paid, why not? Then I'm the guy to talk to. Reach out to me. You have a fantastic night. It's very late over here. And please feel free to send me any questions. And please feel free to text me, email. All my details are below so that we can engage in a conversation. If you're a newbie, if you feel inspired by the video, please like it. If you want to tap into your true potential, join up under the links below. Have a good night.